organic food is a complete scam. When you understand what I'm about to explain to you, you are either going to give up on finding healthy food or you're going to do what it actually takes to find real food. It's not that organic is completely meaningless, it's more of a bare minimum. However, in some cases, it is actually completely meaningless.
Some of the foods that have the worst toxin profile are organic.
The guy who created the organic certification under Bill Clinton, the Secretary of Agriculture, Dan Glickman, essentially said that organic certification is a pure marketing tool. It is not a statement of food safety or even nutrition or quality. So the core of the issue with organic certification is that it is a blacklist. Certain really toxic pesticides are not allowed. It's not a white list of mandatory included soil, farming, pest management practices. So the soil in organic agriculture is dead, depleted. That's why studies consistently show that organic food does not have more nutrients than non-organic food. Certain pesticides are not allowed to be used, but then we just go use other pesticides and basically put them into the same conventional industrial agricultural system. So the core of really healthy, quality food is nutritious, ecologically active soil. Organic says absolutely nothing about whether or not that is present. And as far as toxicity goes, just because we're outlining certain pesticides from being used in organic agriculture, it says nothing about the total toxin load from whatever pesticides we are using. Pesticides like acetic acid and eugenol are more toxic than certain pesticides that are not allowed in organic agriculture. So you could go into deep research on every single food about if it's better to get organic, if it's meaningless. And I've done this for a lot of foods. I recommend you do that. For me, I don't want to get wax foods that have petroleum-based waxes that are not organic. I don't want to be getting grains. Things like oats are sprayed with glyphosate, a potent carcinogen antibiotic, to kill the grain so that we can harvest it. It's covered in glyphosate, and then we harvest it right after. Things like coffee and things on the dirty dozen list, I do try to get organic. The point is that if you want actually healthy food, looking for organic certification in a grocery store is not going to get you there. Basically, for things where you need to be getting it from a grocery store, it's going to help you, in some cases, avoid the most toxic pesticides. If you actually want to be eating healthy food, you need to be investigating. These certifications are put in place. Companies do the bare minimum to meet these certifications so they can get a little stamp on their food. That's why there's constant scandals like with Vital Farms eggs. And so if you want to get actual quality food, what I did is I started to go to all the local farms and interrogate the farmers, essentially. Don't just talk to the farmer and take their word for it that it's healthy. You need to interrogate the fuck out of these farmers. You need to ask them exactly what they're doing. You need to educate yourself on the exact type of farming they're doing and what the standards are. You need to know what questions to ask. And I have videos about that specific topic. My video on how to ask for what type of beef is good did pretty well. So you want to go interrogate your local farmers, find actually quality food. But another thing you can do is to grow your own food. That's why I plant food forests for people. If you're growing your own food, you don't have to worry that someone's coming in and spraying some organic pesticide on your crops. So either find local farmers that are doing things very well, that are doing things beyond organic, not using any chemicals. When I sold vegetables for 2 years, I didn't use any chemicals of any kind. Organic, non-organic, not even the non-toxic organic chemicals like neem oil, because what that does is disrupt the ecology. In ecology-based gardening, we're building an ecosystem. The ecosystem is in balance. You shouldn't be needing to use pesticides at all. So a food forest is essentially the highest standard of mimicking natural systems. In a food forest, all of the systems are in place to keep pests in balance, to keep nutrients in balance. It can be fully self-maintaining like a wild forest. And when you do this, you don't need to use chemicals. The reason that organic agriculture is total bullshit is because we're basically taking the systems, the laboratory-like mass-produced systems of industrial agriculture, and replacing certain chemicals with other supposedly less toxic chemicals. So if you want actually healthy food, when you get this kind of food from local farms, growing it yourself, it tastes completely different. It feels completely different. Once I got a taste for this quality of actual real food, I could never go back. Sometimes I buy organic because I'm not going to be growing my own coffee. But as much as possible, grow your own food. Get it from local farms. Interrogate the fuck out of your farmers and see what actual real food feels like. After that, if you want to go back to your organic food from the grocery store, great. But if you think you're eating healthy buying organic, at least give yourself a chance to have actually healthy food.